First, I'm going to use Milani Cosmetics Prime Shield Primer to prep my face. To cover up my brows, first I am gluing them down using a regular, just store-bought glue stick, and then I'm also going to build up my brow bone and cover them up even more using some scar wax and liquid latex. Since this is a skull makeup look, I really wanted my brows to be really predominant and to really highlight my natural bone structure. If you're ever using scar wax, just make sure that you're really blending that out evenly and making sure that it's smooth. Once the liquid latex is dry, I'm just setting that with some translucent setting powder. This one that I'm using is from Mary Kay. Next, I am picking up the MAC Cosmetics Studio Finish Concealer and just concealing any of the areas where I feel like I need some more coverage or there's some discoloration and some acne redness that I want to cover up. So I'm just putting that on with a brush and then I'll be blending that out. For foundation, I'm using Revlon Colorstay Foundation in the shade Golden Beige and blending that out onto my entire face with a wet beauty blender. Now to conceal my under eyes, I am picking up Makeup Revolution Super Size Concealer and just brushing that onto my under eyes, and I'm also going to highlight the middle of my forehead a little bit and then just blend that out with a wet beauty blender. And I'm using that same translucent setting powder from Mary Kay to set my under eyes. And now to set the rest of my face, I'm picking up the e.l.f. Cosmetics Sheer Tint Finishing Powder in the shade Fair to Light and just brushing that onto my entire face. For eyeshadow, I'm starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette and picking up a fluffy blending brush and starting with that neon yellow shade called Sphere. I'm using this color as my first transition shade, and I'm also starting to blend out the eyeshadow shape that I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to be using neon eyeshadows as well as pigments on my entire face, so I'm using that Sphere shade and blending that down my nose and under my eyes. Now using this 6-pack of neon pigments that I ordered from Amazon, I can't remember the exact brand, but I will link it down below. I'm picking up that neon pink first on another fluffy blending brush and just placing that onto my crease and blending that into that yellow. Since I'm putting these pigments all over my face, it's okay that it's kind of messy at first. I know I look really scary with my eyebrows covered up, but I just want this look to be kind of like a watercolor style. So I'm just kind of placing that wherever and defining my natural brow structure. Now I'm picking up the Morphe Hotspot palette and going back and forth between that deeper neon pink as well as that burgundy shade to deepen up my crease and kind of continue to sketch out that shape. As you can see, I'm using that burgundy shade to really blow out that eyeshadow wing, and I'm also placing that onto my lower lash line just to deepen it up and finish off this eyeshadow look. Since I am creating a skull makeup look, I'm picking up that neon yellow, the shade called Sphere in the Anastasia palette, and that pink neon pigment to really make my eyes kind of look like that skeleton style and to make them look really sunken in. Here I'm using all of those different shades to really contour and highlight the natural structure of my forehead. Now picking up that deepened plum, like black type shade in the Morphe palette, I'm picking that up on another brush and just shading that onto my lid and blowing that out onto the wing again. I kind of jumped ahead and did most of my left eye off camera, but now on the right side I'm just going back and forth between all those different shades from the Morphe palette as well as those neon pigments, and then just creating that sunken in skeleton sort of eyeshadow. I wanted to create a lot of dimension in this eye look, so I'm going back and forth several times between all those different shadows to achieve that look that I want. Now picking up the Milani Cosmetics Stay Put eyeliner in the shade After Dark, I'm putting that on my lower waterline as well as creating eyebrows. To intensify that black even more, I'm picking up the NYX Cosmetics Epic Ink Liner in the shade Black and going over top of that to deepen up the black some more and also to put in some hair-like strokes just to make the brows more realistic. Here I'm just dipping my brush in a little bit more of that deepened plum color from that Morphe palette and just putting some more of that on my lid and also bringing that up to the brow that we created. Now using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit, I'm using that lightest shade and just putting that on my brow bone and also on my inner corner to highlight those areas. Now using the Tarte Cosmetics Clay Pot Liner in the shade White, I'm picking that up on a very thin eyeliner brush and creating that skeleton shape. Now I'm just going back and forth between the pink, orange, and neon pigments to create even more definition and really make this look like a watercolor neon skull. Now using that NYX Epic Ink Liner again, I'm just drawing on that skeleton nose. You can really make this any shape that you want to. I'm just drawing that on and then filling it in with the same eyeliner. To highlight that nose that I created, I'm using that Tarte eyeliner again and just placing a thin line where I want those highlight areas and then touching it up with the black eyeliner. For false lashes, I'm picking up a style of my favorite Ariston lashes. To continue sketching out this skeleton look, I'm using the CC Beauty Flash Color Case that I got from Amazon and applying the black shade first with a very thin liner brush. There are so many different styles of skeleton makeup, but for this one, I really wanted to hollow out my cheekbones and my temple. Since my vision for this is to create a neon skull magician, I want it to be spooky but at the same time really glam and edgy. Now using a larger brush, I'm just filling in those areas where I want the black to just cancel out my jaw and really make the skeleton teeth predominant. I'm going back in with a little bit more of that black eyeshadow just to set that face paint so that whenever I'm going back in with those neon pigments, I'm not getting the face paint everywhere onto my face. Now I am applying all those different colored neon pigments onto my forehead, and as you can see on the left side, I want my brow bones to look really fierce. As you can see now, I'm just adding those same colors onto my cheekbones and also around my mouth to set down that color for the skeleton teeth. I'm also using these shades as highlight and contour. As you can see, I'm adding the pink and the orange shades closer to the black as to contour my face, and the yellow is acting as a highlight. Now I'm using that black to sketch out a line onto the middle of my mouth. Sometimes I like to use the darkest shades to sketch out the shape first and then add my lightest colors on top and go back in with some shading if I need to. Now using another thin liner brush, I'm using the black from that Flash Color Case again and just drawing thin lines to create the skeleton teeth. Sorry guys, my camera died on me, but anyway, so I finished drawing the lines for the skeleton teeth, and now I'm just going back and forth between the pink, orange, and yellow neon pigments to fill in that teeth shape. Now using the white from the CC Beauty Flash Color Case, I'm just highlighting in between those lines and creating teeth. Now to make this look even crazier and have that watercolor style, I'm just drawing on with that white paint some teardrops and also a heart on the other side, and then going in with that neon blue pigment and putting that right over top. To finish off this look, I'll be adding a few more details, putting on a wig and a watercolor hat that I made with some black poker cards to finish off this costume.